What up, what up? It's your boy Chris Lee. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Now, if you like anything dealing with nerdom, anything dealing with nostalgia, you're in the right place. This is Blurred Talk. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I know I've been going for a while. Ain't no excuse, but I'm gonna try to be more consistent as possible. I'm gonna try to record my videos on Saturdays or Sundays so I can prep them for the week to come. So I do apologize, but I had to jump back on because there's some great news that have been broke, and I was right for once. And I want to go ahead and jump on here and just kind of let you know what's going on, and then let you know what I think is going to happen and what I think should happen as suggestions, as I normally do. Now, I'm just a little old guy writing a fan letter as a nerd, so don't take my word for it. Just take it with a grain of salt, okay? So let's jump into it. As you know, they just announced Black Panther 3 at the San Diego Con, and you know, that's huge, right? Black Panther is a huge property of Marvel that has been dormant due to the passing of Chadwick Boseman. And even then, it was pretty much like an awkward pivot to Shuri, because it was very awkward. And then it's like, okay. And don't get me wrong, I like her as Black Panther. I think she does a great role. But as the lead, I just noticed to the actor, I think she's a phenomenal actress, right? But the sheer Shuri carrying that role, it's just too grand of a role to carry, you know. And I think she's more of the person behind the cheer in a sense, because she's the brains of the operation. But field wise, we never really seen Shuri too much in the field prior to Black Panther 1, and even then it was like, okay, I'm just the aide, right? I'm the person that picked up the gun when nobody else picked up the gun, you know. So to see her take the role as Black Panther and all the feats that Black Panther would have to encounter going forth is just too grand for Shuri to carry. And that's not a slight towards the character or no sexism thing or nothing like that. It's just, it is what it is. It's just too grand. Now, with that being said, when they did bring in the young T'Challa off of Wakanda Forever, I already said it years ago, and I just watched that video just to make sure, did I really say it out loud? But I did. And young T'Challa was great to bring in, because now that was setting up the building blocks for the ages to come for the new T'Challa. And I mentioned that they should age him up. That way it's easier to find an older actor who can appropriately play maybe a young teenage Black Panther, which is what I was going for, which would be more believable. And then kind of age him throughout the film to kind of put him into their role. Now, obviously they picked the young actor, David Johnson, who played on a film called The Long Walk by Stephen King. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I don't know that man. I don't know that brother. Never heard of anything he's done. However, I do like that that he was picked, because he kind of fits the bill. He fits the bill. And I have faith. This is the blind faith I have. I have faith that this brother's gonna knock it out the park. He's gonna give us a new take on the young T'Challa. Hopefully he's a different, hopefully if the writing is good, he is the mirror opposite of his father. You know, you don't want another T'Challa, you know, you want to see the nuance of a different, maybe a guy who's got a chip on his shoulder, who got something to prove, right? Or he's kind of bitter because he didn't really have all that time with his father, so he kind of carried that chip on his shoulder. But a troubled young T'Challa with a lot to carry, and a lot to prove, and a little bit of arrogance is something that I would like to see, you know, just like the young adolescent, the young teenager, the young adult. It fits the bill so beautifully, right? So that's what I'm hoping for if they do it that way. We don't want a young, responsible T'Challa, because then it kind of takes the fun out of the coming of age story. So that's just me. But yeah, T'Challa, he is the son of T'Challa. The film will be, I want to say, released on December 15th, 2028. But as you know, with Marvel and with current media, those dates could change. We could be looking at 2029, 2030, 2033. You seen what they're doing with Blade. I mean, you don't know, so you can't really trust it. You could just take it with a grain of salt. So, but that's the date as we have as of now. That is obviously after the events of Doomsday, and I want to say after Secret Wars, but fact check me on that in the comment section here. Which is great, right? So I hope, and this is my hope here, is when they do introduce this young T'Challa, the son of T'Challa. Let's say call him T'Challa Jr., right? Let's call him TJ. Can we call him TJ? Because that's just a lot to be saying this whole time. TJ, right? You cool with that? I'm cool with that. So TJ is going to be taking the mantle of his father, and obviously he's going to be trained, and he's have a mentor in Shuri. Shuri's going to be his mentor. And then of course M'Baku is going to be his mentor as well. So, which I mean, I would hope, right, be his mentors. And then which would be like his coming of age story. Now, with that being said, I would hope they do have more of a explaining of his journey between this 7 years old when he was on Wakanda Forever up until the clearly 20-plus-year-old David Johnson. Like, there's a huge gap here. So hopefully we don't just glaze over that and just like, here you go, he's T'Challa as an adult. And it's like, no. Because one thing about Marvel, what made Marvel such a mainstay name in just the comic book universe, is that the coming of age story of the characters, which you gotten to see them go through trial and error to become who they are or who they would be. So, which is hugely known with Peter Parker's Spider-Man, as you saw him as a teen and a young adult, then an older adult, then so you kind of see his progression there. And T'Challa is a huge name. It's just not some character you're just going to explain away and hope nobody asks questions about. Like, you really got to be diligent on how you do this. So hopefully they do give us a coming of age story. Now, this is my suggestion though, because as you know, Doomsday is around the corner, and if filming is wrapped, I'm assuming filming is wrapped. Now, what I would suggest, now mind you, when Wakanda Forever came out, I want to say that was 2018, maybe. I mean 2020. No, was it 2018? No, it was 2020. I'm not sure of the years, but I would say it was a while ago. It was at least 4 years ago, right? So with that being said, he was roughly around 7 then. So when you come up with the events of Doomsday, because mind you, you haven't had a Wakanda focused film since Wakanda Forever. So who knows what the time gap might have been between that particular event of Shuri meeting the young T'Challa up until, present day. Who knows at the time frame? You could really get away with that, but you surely ain't gonna get away with 10, 20, 15 years. Like, no. So what I would say would be wise in the safe place, or the safe bet, is to kind of bring in a young T'Challa in Doomsday, not as a mainstay character. I know, don't get up in arms, not as a huge role to play, but maybe just background, right? So let's say before Shuri go off to meet for the great meeting or the great showdown, maybe she have a heart-to-heart, and it starts off by her having this huge speech with a little bit of background scenery, or maybe it just shows her, the camera pans around her, and then maybe she's telling a story about how her and T'Challa grew up, or what it might have been, and now she's Black Panther, she holds the mantle, and how that role is so important and it's so grand and it means so much, and what all goes into it. And it's almost as if she's prepping somebody, right? And the camera kind of pans slowly to a young T'Challa, maybe within his teens, right? Pre-teens, let's say 13 maybe. And then this is Doomsday, and then she kind of have that moment with him, because Shuri is, you've seen a lot of cuts of her, so she's gonna play a intricate role in this film. So maybe that be her heart-to-heart with the young T'Challa before she goes off, because she doesn't know what's to come. Like, maybe this might be the last hurrah. Maybe this might be her last time to even have this conversation with the young T'Challa, with young TJ. And she lost so much. She lost her mother, she lost her brother, she lost half of her family and friends due, to the big war they had between them and in the last film. So, death is something that she takes seriously and could just happen at any moment. So maybe she's just kind of like letting him know, hey, this might be the last hurrah but I want you to know what all goes into this role. And then they kind of show him, he might say something quick or something snipey, and then whatever he says is going to kind of set the tone or the type of personality you're going to get from him. So you can kind of play with that as you will, writers. But and then even then, that moment just kind of be like a brief moment, but a very intimate moment, and then it kind of goes off into the rest of the film. Now there's the T'Challa. You see him, the young teen. You know, hey, he's still alive and present. He's not hiding nowhere. He's present. And then maybe in Secret Wars, if she's still here in Secret Wars, then you can kind of like put like a gap between ages or the gap between timelines. So maybe Secret Wars is like another 5 years later, right? Because remember, between Endgame, Infinity War, and Endgame, there was quite a few years between time, you know. So then you can kind of like do the same thing there. So then let's say Secret Wars is like another 5-10 years. Mind you, he might have been 13 when she kind of had to sit down. So what, that's, you know, 16, 17, 18. So now he's 18 years old. So, and you know, and then that's very, 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 you know, like just the perfect pitch. Because now in Secret Wars he's 18. Now he's a young T'Challa for real. Now like he's grooming to be Black Panther. Like he's literally going through his final stages. You know, he's almost in a sense of graduation to be the Black Panther. Now he's wanting to do more. He's wanting to be more involved. He want to have a bigger role and maybe have a moment on screen where he kind of saves the day, or he kind of take on some invaders or whatever, you know, in the midst of the film, and that be like his little moment there, and it kind of like show you like maybe a 5-minute sequence of him fighting, and then you can, cool, I see what this guy's cooking with. And then maybe just almost like Civil War, we had Black Panther. Black Panther was kind of prevalent in that film, but he wasn't like the main character, but he definitely had, like, it gave you like, hey, this is who Black Panther is, you know, and then it led into his film. So granted, you don't got to give him that long of a scene because there's gonna be so much going on in Secret Wars, but just to let us know, hey, this is what's to come. This is who to expect to wear the mantle next. So then after Secret Wars, obviously Black Panther 3 comes out. I'm assuming that's the timeline now. I don't know. I'm assuming the timeline. So then after Secret Wars, Black Panther 3 comes out. So now you can explain why the David Johnson gentleman is clearly in his 20 plus years. You can explain that now because you've been laying down the brickwork prior. Okay. So then by that time, boom, now you got T'Challa. He went to his tuning exam, if you would say, Naruto. So then now he's ready to be a Jonin, Naruto again. So he's now ready for the mantle. He's now ready to be Black Panther and Black Panther 3. But then that way with him and Shuri, in the Black Panther 3, is Shuri is literally passing him the torch in that film. And then now he's taking up the hymns. So to me, that'll be a great way to really ask character development, because Marvel, as you know, has put its stake on character development from Iron Man 1 to Iron Man 2 to Avengers to Iron Man 3. So you see how I see Iron Man, the same thing with Captain America, same thing with Thor, same thing with Spider-Man. Like you literally had character development before they, you know, to show you the evolution of the person. So we do need that, you know. We should get that, Ryan Coogler. Like, let's not fast track it just to kind of fill that void and stick somebody in there like, hey, here you go. No. Peel back that onion, take your time with that layering, and just really bring them in, you know, the right way. And then that way you don't have to explain them away as a variant or anything of the sort. And then you also don't have to worry about skipping the timeline or jumping the timeline so drastically. Because if you did that, you're really ruining the continuity of everything around Marvel. Like, Spider-Man is literally a teenager for the better half of his career as Spider-Man, and he's now 18, 19 now. So if you do 10 years in the future, he's 29. You see what I'm saying? And Spider-Man is like, he's not like some back noise or background character. He's like literally the new face of Marvel. So you don't want him to just be 29 all of a sudden. So now when you do the next Spider-Man film, now you got to explain what they're going to do in this time frame. So you're just really doing a butterfly effect there. Instead of just ruining everybody else's timeline, just for the sake of sticking Black Panther in there, do it layer by layer, like I just explained. And that way, when it comes to naturally, and people will flock to it and respect it naturally. So that's just my suggestion there. I wanted to keep this under 20 minutes. What are y'all suggesting? Am I wrong? Am I digging too hard into this? Am I making this too much of a big thing? Just let me know what you think in the comment section. Until the next time, Blerd Talk, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. There's more to come. Peace.